Well, for those holding out hope for a late David Bakhtiari New York Jets edition, you can stop holding your breath. Bakhtiari ended those rumors. We'll react to that and discuss here on the show. Let's roll.
Zoinks! But it is unequivocally the Super Bowl for New York Jet fans.
Field Yates, baby. Field Gosh darn Yates. Let's bring him on the show.
Come on, people. Connor Rodgers is joining the show. What's up, Connor? But Trevor Gosh darn Sycamore, baby, for me, personally, my favorite New York Jet of all time.
Wow, it's great to be on. What an intro that was right there.
Paul, nobody does an intro like you, man.
Paul, you give the best intro of literally any podcast that I've ever been.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas.
What's poppin'? Good morning, everybody. Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. And whether you watch live or after the fact, East Coast, West Coast, North Pole, South Pole, we appreciate you. But let's give a special shout out to Addison, who was the first commenter in here this morning. Addison yelling, Boy Green! This West Coaster just got up early for you. Addison, thank you, brother, and we appreciate you. Welcome to the show, baby. Live here at 7:30 or on your West Coast, 4:30. You're a freaking psychopath, but we appreciate you, baby. So thanks, everybody, for joining us and all the members of the Boy Green Coffee Club, which, again, is the money sign on the left side of your screen. Feel free to join the army. We've got plenty of members, but plenty of room for more. And also down below is the Boy Green merch shop. I just got the hat, and again, I'm a hat freak. So if the hat isn't good, I wouldn't be saying it. I love the hat. I'm wearing it right now. Hopefully you guys can check it out if you're listening to the audio-only version. We got the link to the Boy Green shop down below. Hopefully y'all can check it out. Love the hat. But let's get right into it here and also get into more of your comments, questions, super chats, and all that jazz throughout today's program. Plus, of course, the phone lines will be open for you guys to hop on the program as well. David Bakhtiari, there was a rumor early in the offseason, Aaron Rodgers and David Bakhtiari best friends. The Jets had more questions and answers on the offensive line. It seemed like a lot of things were aligning for, quote-unquote, the inevitable when I talked to people that, David Bakhtiari and the Jets, that's 100% happening. Well, doesn't sound like it's so inevitable. And that may have been obvious with the moves the New York Jets made this season, but David Bakhtiari made it even more obvious when he made an appearance on the Adam Schefter podcast. So we're going to roll that footage. Again, this is a clip from the Adam Schefter podcast. There's a full interview between David Bakhtiari and Adam Schefter. We have the full link to that in our article down below talking about this very story where you can watch or listen, whichever you prefer, the full David Bakhtiari and Adam Schefter interview. But let's play this clip on him addressing, would he suit up for the New York Jets this season?
Is there any chance that you could be spending this season with either Jordan or Aaron, or those are not likely options?
I mean, I would say never. I don't know. I mean, if I were to look at it, Aaron's already got they drafted a first round tackle, and then they also signed Tyron.
Yep.
And then they also signed Morgan Moses. So I don't really see the tackle position being I don't see where I would fit in that equation at this current point in time. And then Green Bay with Jordan, I mean, if they wanted me to protect Jordan, they wouldn't have fired me.
Right. Fair.
But like I said, I've seen crazy things happen. Goody was very good, and we had our talk when I left, and he did what every GM should do. Is you always want to leave the door a little bit cracked because you never know the scenario. But I don't see it. But I mean, I could be saying that, and then who knows? The future is always so interesting. Just you never know. So I don't want to saying anything in absolutes, but I don't see it as a high probability.
There you go. That David Bakhtiari again on the Adam Schefter podcast saying, I don't see it as a high probability that he's going to sign with the Jets or the Green Bay Packers for that matter. Both of those topics of conversation came up on the show. Shout out to Mojo Jets, who's getting a chance to watch the show live. Mojo Jets, love you, baby. Welcome to the program. Love all you guys that are jumping in here. And I will just say this. I'm one of the ones that thought it was inevitable that the New York Jets and David Bakhtiari would just make sense together. But you could even hear it in David Bakhtiari's answer that he obviously studied the Jets roster. He went like, they took that first-round offense tackle, Olu Fashanu. They signed Tyron Smith. Yes, they traded for Morgan Moses. Yes, they're 3 deep, at least, at offensive tackle. And David Bakhtiari, well, he plays left tackle. How much left tackle does he play? I actually did the numbers on it. So to get you guys a perspective, here he has played in his 11-year career. Bakhtiari has registered 8,475 snaps at left tackle, so you could say he's done that before. Also, during the conversation, it was wide-ranging. They talked about Aaron Rodgers' playoffs. Maybe we could get to that later, but I want to keep it to the signing or potential signing that could have happened here. So left tackle seems unlikely. They've got Tyron Smith. They have Olu Fashanu. We'll do more on Fashanu later this week. And then on the other side, they have Morgan Moses. So they got like 3 top-end starters. You know, Olu's a rookie, so you don't know what he's going to be. But you know what I mean? Like they have 3 answers before they would even go to Bakhtiari in theory. And again, Bakhtiari has played, what is that number? 8,475 snaps at left tackle. The only other possibility, if Bakhtiari wanted to join the Jets, was, all right, maybe he can learn Guatemalan. Maybe he can learn another position. Maybe he can be a left guard, a right guard, or this position, or that position. Maybe that could be a path. But David Bakhtiari made it very clear that he has no intentions to do that. Here was the quote. Now, if you said switch positions, he's talking to Schefter, I'm like, okay, that's a different type of challenge I don't think I'm willing to swallow at this point in time. I still am and love being a left tackle, but I also do want to win a Super Bowl. That is one of the biggest things that has evaded me, and that has been extremely elusive to this point in my career, end quote. They're from Bakhtiari. So he wants to stay at left tackle. According to this conversation, he has interest from multiple teams. He wants to make sure he's 100% healthy before he steps into with an NFL team. So again, he says he has interest, and he said there are 3 points in which he can sign: training camp, middle of preseason, beginning of the season. And he believes that he will sign with one of those teams once he's fully ready to go because he doesn't want to play around with the injury stuff. He wants to be fully in the moment he steps in. So David Bakhtiari won't be, at least at this stage, switching positions, which all but eliminates the chance to play for the Jets. Outside of injury, which I guess we can never rule out, David Bakhtiari and the Jets does not sound like that's happening. And to be honest, the only part of the equation that is different is Bakhtiari, when healthy, he's one of the best offensive tackles in football. He's a 5-time All-Pro, for Pete's sake. 5-time All-Pro, not Pro Bowler, All-Pro. And that's an elite list, man. When he's healthy, he's phenomenal. And he's got the relationship with Aaron Rodgers already. So there was a lot to like there. But I'm going to be honest. Where the Jets ended up, I like even better. Tyron Smith is a Pro Football Hall of Famer, and he's still playing at an elite level. He was a second-team All-Pro this past season. And Morgan Moses, which, again, David Bakhtiari, I also looked up the other snaps in his career. So, again, Bakhtiari, 8,475 at left tackle, 5 at left guard, 6 at right guard, 3 at right tackle. The only thing he hasn't played apparently is center. But, again, 8,475 left tackle, 5, 6, and 3 at left guard, right guard, and right tackle. That I just, an old dog can certainly learn a new trick, I suppose, but that probably is not in the cards. And so he's not changing positions. He can only play left tackle. And the Jets have left tackle answered, Tyron Smith. And then they got Olu Fashanu behind him, which I'm excited with that plan. That's a good plan. And it sounds like Bakhtiari is going to, before injuries or anything would befall the team, it sounds like he's going to be on someone else's squad. And good luck to him. He's had a bag of injuries. I mean, it's been unbelievable, the amount of injuries this guy has suffered. And what we're hoping for, speaking of injuries, is the opposite side, a little bit of injury luck. I think it was, DK who joined us on the show and talked about the offensive line injuries being so vast. through the first handful of weeks or first handful of years, the last 2 years, and now it's we're kind of due for that puppy to flip and go on the other side and make that happen. So long overdue, you could quite say. So let's roll with what we got, baby. The Jets are not going to have, and we'll talk about this, like I said, a different episode this week. I don't want to blow the load here. That's a good show with other great content in it. But the Jets are not going to have a traditional swing tackle. There'll be Olu Fashanu at left tackle, backup left tackle, and then Carter Warren at this point is the exclusive right tackle backup. And the Jets will roll with that. And no room for Bakhtiari. Would have been fun, though. Would have been fun, but no Bakhtiari, it appears. So that is happening. Best show in the morning. I appreciate that. All you wonderful people are saying all these kind things since year 12 and everybody else. I appreciate all the kind words. We will open up the chat here momentarily so you guys can hop on the program. No radio today. Let me see real quick. All right, Jared B says, when was his last full season? I don't know. Let me let's look that up. Let's give that a goog. Okay, let me see. All right. Okay, I remember he came in the league like 2012, 2013. So let me see. Scroll. 2019. So it's been a handful of years, Jared. It's been a handful of years. Yep. 2019 is the last time he had a full season. Here are his last couple. Played one game last year, 11 games in 2022, 1 game in 2021, 12 games in 2020. Then he had his full campaign there. So it's been a few years. That's fair. But I would imagine that he wasn't going to sign for a crazy amount of money anyway. Well, I mean, we'll see. Maybe I'll be surprised, perhaps, with what comes here in a couple weeks based on the interest. But we'll see. And booyah, mother_effing_chew just ordered his official Boy Green tank top to go with the pint glass, baby. The pint glass right here. The tank top's nice. I might be wearing the tank top today. It's hot as hell. In my house right now, it's 82 degrees. I don't have central air, so we are sucking it up here. But it is like right now at 7:42 in the morning, it's 82 degrees in my house. Jesus. I feel like I'm at my grandma's house. When you kind of walk in and there's that breath of heat you immediately walk into. Good Lord. So, yeah, it's hot as hell. So I'm probably shifting to a tank top shortly after. There's no radio show because of Juneteenth at my radio station. And I have no baseball tonight, so I got the day off. So after this show and maybe some Jets content articles, I was going to take my daughter to the park, but we might both light on fire before that happens. But I love it, guys. So make sure you visit the Boy Green shop. Thank you, mother_effing_chew, baby. Toot. Way to visit the shop, baby. A lot of great stuff in there. But yeah, so anywho, on Bakhtiari, yeah, he hasn't played fully healthy in a while, but it's phenomenal. He's a good talent. Seems like a good guy. John Hepburn says, you have good chemistry with Jake Asman. And I will tell you this kind of a weird, introspective comment here. One of the things I love to do when we have people on the show, whether it's Woody, obviously, with the Boy Green Meets Woody show Tuesday, Thursday, or guests, RG3 to Jake Asman to anybody. What I try to do is break down the walls immediately because people, when they're being interviewed, are like this. They're covering up. They think, that there's like some level of trepidation, hesitation, what have you. And I try to goof around and make it seem like DK. Never knew that guy before someone suggested we have him on the show. And I got a few compliments of great chemistry. And we've never met each other ever, but we've only done this virtual thing once. So that's what I love. So, John, that's the greatest compliment you could give me. I appreciate that. And the compliment to Jake Asman of chemistry, man, and making it seem like we're all family. We're all hanging around the bar and having a good time. So I'm glad that you are picking up on that, and excellent. I hope I have that with everybody we have. It can't always happen, but I love it. That's it. We're all family here. This is a community. So I love everyone, whether they've joined the Boy Green Coffee Club officially or not. I appreciate all the ones that have. That means the world and helps us keep the lights on here. But it's we have a big community here, man. The more the merrier. So thank you very much. No tank top, go topless, Mojo Jet says. I might have to. But that's the thing. This is why this might be a hot take. I'm going to be honest. I prefer the cold. And I'm not just saying that now that we're in the heat. Like all the time, prefer the cold. Because think about this. When you get colder, what do? You put on more clothes and you get warmer. When you're hot, you strip off more clothes and the sun's like, sweet, now I got a more direct shot at your epidermis. Straight shot at the skin. I'm like, oh, God, you burn more. Like, you don't suddenly get cooler with the clothes you strip off. Just not good, man. I am not a heat guy. And I thought in New York I'd be safe. I used to live down south, South Carolina, Georgia. I used to live everywhere. And it's humid and hot as hell down there. So I thought, oh, New York, oh, phenomenal. They got snow up here. It'll be great. No, not during this heat dome or whatever the hell they're calling this. Unbelievable. Mother effing Chew says, yeah, 90s and humid here today. And I have to cut up a fallen tree and build a fire pit. I guess I'll be sweating out yesterday's beer. Wow, that is quite a day of action. Jesus. Well, good luck with that. Clancy says BG and Aspen Weekly would be awesome. We will see if we can make that happen. We will see. I will chat with Jake, and we'll see. I don't know if I could get him up this early, so it might have to be on his show. But either way, we will see. Try to give the people what they want. Jared says, tank top. I didn't see any tank tops in the merch shop. That's all I wear is tank tops like Paul Sr. and OCC. Yeah, it is. Yeah, if you take a gander around the Boy Green merch shop, there is tank tops in there. So you guys can check that out. Feel free. Phil says, I need to move to Minnesota. Okay. Well, if I'm trying to find that kind of cold place, perhaps that will give me exactly what I'm looking for, like Montana or something. I don't know. And Mother effing Score Chew confirms that the tank tops are in there. So feel free to check it out. The Boy Green merch shop is down below. It is down below, baby. All right, I'll open up the phone lines early today. I'm feeling frisky. Let's roll, baby. Let's get all these people in here. All right. I'm dropping that right now in the YouTube comment section. Feel free to hop on in if you're watching on any of the other platforms. And we'll get you here on the program. It's a fun, what is today? It's a Wednesday, maybe? Yeah, June 19th. Okay, yeah, it's a Wednesday, I've been told in my ear by no one. Okay, it's a Wednesday. Video link to join, baby. Let's hit it. That's normally Jake Ashman's line, but I was just trying to try it out and see how it felt. That is the pinned comment now in the YouTube comment section. If you'd like to join today's Boy Green Daily, join the coffee club, feel free to do so. That is the pinned comment on YouTube. And again, David Bakhtiari is a no-go. It ain't happening from everything that we hear, everybody. So sorry to those that were wishing for it. No bueno. But let's go to those phone lines. My boy Hep immediately joining us here on the show. What's up, Hep, off the top rope?
Hey, Paul. I want your opinion. Do you think we're going to be a big running team this year?
I do. I've heard a lot of people say that, and I do. I think, because to be honest, and maybe there's an audible at the line of scrimmage, quote unquote, so to speak, that they start with the running game because you don't know what Rodgers is going to be. They know inside the building, obviously, they see him more than we do in our lone media opportunities. But a running team with Breece Hall, and then as Rodgers gets more comfortable and the rest of the offense gets more comfortable, I think they light it up. I mean, I'd be surprised if we start going 5 wide against the 49ers and stuff. That would pique my, and I'd be like, okay, let's roll, baby. But I would lean towards, I think they're going to, quite frankly, lean in both ways. I'm going to lean on it, and they will lean on the running game.
Yeah, I mean, with the running game and a good defense, that spells deep into the playoffs to me.
100%. That travels. That was our glory days of the 2 years in 2009 and 2010. And quite frankly, go back to other great Jets playoff teams. Those are the ingredients to making a run. No doubt about it. So, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Thanks. Peace out, friends.
Love it, Hep. My boy joining us here on the program. Beautiful. Yeah, and I know, speaking of, I don't know if this is going to be like the bat signal, and this is going to bring him in here, but my dad yesterday on the show, and I know you guys love him so much. My dad on the show yesterday says, Breece Hall, not great at running or something. Whatever he said, it was something to that effect. I'm going to butcher it, but he said, like he's not going to be a great runner. He's a fine receiver. And everyone went, what the hell? And I think what we're going to see from Breece, despite what my father said. I think we're going to while we've not a running threat is what Clancy said. There you go. I knew someone was going to say it, so apparently I got to put that on a T-shirt. But no, my dad said Breece Hall is not a running threat, and I was like, I would spit out my drink. If I had a drink, I would have spit it out. Like that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. And I get it. I get the comps because it's very small sample size, right? Breece Hall has not rushed for 1,000 yards yet. He had that big slump last year. And Alvin Kamara is this guy that doesn't really run for 1,000 yards a lot, but he's like this a prominent receiving back and everything else. And they mix all that stuff together. Breece Hall is certainly a running threat. He's going to show. He is a home run hitter. Look at the big runs. When you look at that 10 game span, 9 game span, whatever it was, of Breece Hall not delivering, the freaking offense sucked. It sucked. Like, I mean, come on, man. The offensive line sucked. The quarterback sucked. And despite all that, he had nearly 1,000 yards rushing on this crappy offense, for God's sake. So, like, come on, people. Not a running threat. Unbelievable. I can't believe my father said that yesterday. Yikes. Yeah, look, Greg, wait till Nate and Nathaniel Hackett realizes Breece can run the ball. Then we're on to something. Hopefully he finds that out sooner rather than later, I suppose. And Brandon joined us here on YouTube. What's up, Boy Green? Finally made a live morning show. Okay, today's the day of people finally making the live morning show. I appreciate you nonetheless, whether it's live or after the fact, but live is fun. Thank you, Brandon, for joining us, brother. Appreciate it. And everybody, feel free to join the Boy Green Coffee Club. You can join the membership group on YouTube. Become part of the family, baby. And play action should also be wonderful. I agree with Matthias. Aaron Rodgers is going to thrive in that department as well. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We've got our boy here. No SVU, but plenty of BMAC. BMAC here on the program.
Hey, Paul Boy Green. Yeah, no SBU because Alan made an assaulted comment about me yesterday. So, all right, Alan, you're gonna do that, and I'm taking away you SVU. So you are. So now
I can appreciate that.
But to look at this face.
And by the way, an early phone call, BMAC. It's good to have you on the earlier side of the show. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm going to try to pop on you.
Hey, 1 second, BMAC. We're kind of losing you. I don't know if your headset mic thing is a little off or something. Your words are getting muffled. Yeah. Go ahead. So you might have to give that a quick oil change. We're losing you a little bit. Go ahead. Yeah, that's better. Okay, great.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Stuff like this.
Yeah, we're doing it again. Yeah, you might have. I don't know what you're going to need to do. We're like losing some of your words there with your talking. I don't know if it's your headset or what. Yeah, it's kind of coming kerfluffled. There's some action. Yeah, it sounds good. Yeah. I feel like it's that Sprint commercial. Hey, can you hear me? Is that even a thing? Do people remember that? I know that's kind of an old callback, but can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, nope. Go ahead. I think we got you.
Okay.
Very clear. I don't know whatever you did, but keep it there. You've nailed it. Whatever you've done right now is spectacular.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try to be quick.
Okay.
But I want to call. I just got 2 points.
Okay.
But the first one I want to know is football is on the field related. Is what did I say? Have you seen Bucky Brooks's ranking, right?
The AFC East quarterback rankings you're asking about?
Yeah.
Yes.
The first one, the Josh Allen one, I agree with.
Let me throw that up on the screen for people because I don't think some people saw it. So yes, Daniel. Last night the episode dropped. Daniel Jeremiah moved the sticks, and Bucky Brooks. That's their podcast. I will throw this up on the screen. They ranked all of the quarterbacks in the NFL by division, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they ranked it for the AFC East. I'll throw this on the screen just as you're asking your question and talking about it here. So here it is, and they did have it. Josh Allen 1. Tua 2, Aaron Rodgers 3, and Jacoby Brissett 4, and they both agreed on the list. And one of the quotes from Daniel Jeremiah was, quote, I just couldn't get myself. I respect Aaron and what he's done and accomplished, but I couldn't put him down over Tua based on recent history. And there's a full clip. Maybe this will be a full show at some point later this week, maybe, but that is the list. So go ahead. Yep.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Bucky Brooks has been a very big Aaron Rodgers critic over his career. Going back to his quarterbacking days with the Packers. So I'm not really shocked. But yeah, like I said, number one, I agree with. I definitely agree with. Josh Allen is the king of that division. Even I think he gets a pass for his lack of playoffs success. Again, he's won the division 4 straight times, and to prove it otherwise, okay, want to say he's the best quarterback in that division, fine. But the 2-1, I totally disagree, man. Like, I don't really get this Tua. I get it. He had a good season last season. The first season, he stayed healthy all year. And I just think that, look, I get it. Recency bias. Rodgers didn't play all last year. Tua did, and Tua put up some impressive numbers. But I just think that Rodgers should be number 2. And in my opinion, I think he dropped the ball on that. I think Rodgers is the second best quarterback in that division. Tua still has a. First of all, we don't know if last year him being healthy all year was a fluke, or that's an
100%.
operation, or is that it's a twin. So we gotta see him stay healthy 2 years straight, and people gloss this over. Tua doesn't play great in cold weather.
True.
You know what I mean? Like Jake pointed this out plenty of times. Tua hasn't won a game when the temperature is below 45 degrees. You know what I mean?
And the opponents, right? Jake loves that stat of that, beating teams above 500. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, right there.
1-5 last year against teams with a winning record, and the one team they beat was the Cowboys, who struggle on the road and who's kind of overrated in my opinion. But I just think that the 2. I just want to point that out. The 2-1, I totally disagree with. But if you want to put Josh Allen number 1, totally get it. But I think for me is Allen, Rodgers, Tua, and then Jacoby Brissett. But I
respect your 4. I like your 4. I know Tua led the league in passing yards last year. I know he appeared in all 17 games, especially with all the injury issues before. So I check all that. But again, when he says recent history, Daniel Jeremiah, 2 of the last 4 years, Aaron Rodgers won the MVP for the best player in football twice in the last 4 years. That seems pretty recent, but, different strokes.
His down year in Green Bay, was still above average. It was probably like the 3rd best Jet quarterback season y'all would have had.
Yeah, it was like 26 touchdowns and 12 picks or something, and 3,500 yards.
Yeah, 27. 26 touchdowns, 1 rushing, so 27 total. That year, and with a broken thumb,
on the throwing hand, right? Yeah. So again, I saw that. I kind of was like, wow, that seems odd. But again, more motivation, more bulletin board material as far as I'm concerned. And sure, you could say Josh Allen is 1 at this point, but I think Aaron Rodgers is going to remind people that he could be number 1. He could be number 1 on that list. And clearly, Jacoby Brissett is last, or Drake May. Or if somehow they could go to Dragon Ball Z and go Fusion Ha! The combined version of that would also be last in the division. So that's fine. They're in the basement.
Yeah, I'm just not a Tua believer. And I think the Dolphins are going to make a big mistake if they pay him that money.
I think they're paying him this offseason, so it's going to be Mondo money, I think. Probably $57 million per year, if I had to guess.
Hey, if you're a Jet fan, that's great news for y'all. You know what I mean?
That's what Jake always says, yeah.
Yeah, same old, people want to talk about the same old Jets, same old Dolphins. Like, these Dolphin fans acting like they're a dynasty, and they haven't won a playoff game since I was in kindergarten.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know why. Okay, the Jets, I get, they're a running joke, okay? Like, they haven't been to the playoffs in 13 years. Like, okay, fine. The Dolphins haven't won a playoff game in 23 years. Like, there are people on this planet that just started drinking that still have not seen the Dolphins win a playoff game, for God's sake. So, like, where's the hate there for Miami? But anywho, I digress. But...
the longest winning playoff drought, because the Lions broke that last year. So
correct.
We just got
Dolphins,
the longest winning drought, not going to the playoffs. And Oh yeah, the Jets got the longest winning drought of not making it to the playoffs, 13 years.
Correct.
And the Dolphins got the longest winning playoff drought of not winning playoff game in 23 years. But hey, the Dolphins get a free pass because it's Miami, it's Florida, it's sunny, the weather's nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Beaches and.
Hey, BMAC, you have a quick question. I know you have another point to get to too, and that's fine. Phil asked Paul, who does BMAC think is the biggest threat to the Jets in the AFC East?
I'm going to say the Bills still. I'm
Okay.
going to say it's the Bills and still prove that, the Bills, again, to beat the champ, you got to beat the champ.
Okay, Ric Flair.
Woo! And as a Packer fan, we've been through it with Rodgers. Rodgers has been winning the division 8, 9, 10 times. And, like we said to Bears and Vikings and Lions fans, to beat the champ, you got to beat the champ. So, to me, it's the Bills. Dolphins are still a good team, not taking nothing away from them. But I think they're the second best threat. And then the Patriots are the Patriots. They suck. But
Fair enough.
I think it's still the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
But I'm going to get to my second question now because I know
Please do.
Again,
yes.
over 15 minutes. Sorry, Bial. But I just want to say real quick. Again, this is my last time bringing this up, but
okay.
Since the whole Rodgers fiasco happened last week with the whole mini camp and all that stuff, people are now ripping him and bringing up that what he said in January, that all the BS and the distractions that need to be out of the building, and people saying that people calling him a hypocrite because now they're saying he's being a distraction. I totally disagree. It's the media that's making it a distraction. So what do you think by that? And what do you think Rodgers meant by that too when he mentioned that?
Flush the BS. I think what he really meant, if we're being honest, is the in-season leak stuff, like the Zach Wilson stuff coming out and stuff of that nature. I think players like to keep things in-house. So if there's some sort of beef, like if Zach was at a beef with the team or however it ended up coming out, that they just handle it in-house and they don't let that drama outside the building. I don't think he was referencing his podcast appearances, which again, that comment was brought up to all the craziness he's had there, and he's responded saying, no, I respect everyone's opinion, but I'm talking about once the regular season starts, basically. Once football is here, we're here. So again, I make much ado about nothing as long as his coaches, players, and everyone doesn't care. And the team told him when he said months ago, apparently, hey, I'm going to miss this time for whatever event. The team says, okay, we're not going to excuse it, and you're going to be subject to fines just like everybody else. And Aaron Rodgers said, okay, sounds good. Everyone should be basically fined the same as what he ended up telling Albert Breer, apparently, that he was copacetic with that decision and cool with it. And if his teammates don't care, I don't care. That's ultimately where I draw the line on that.
And we see his teammates don't care because Sauce Gardner tweeted out on his defense. So, and then okay, well that's all I want to pretty much bring up. And and this and what's going on now doesn't have nothing to do with what he said back in January,
right?
About flushing out the BS.
Yeah, to me, I don't think so. Some people are bringing that up as the thing, and it will be continue to be brought up because, like, hey, flush of BS. Look at this is BS that you've created. The only criticism, I guess, if you could have of Rodgers is Rodgers left Saleh and everyone else to hold his water and speak for him on not being there. Rodgers could have come out with a tweet. Rodgers could do a Pat McAfee interview real quick and say, hey, this is what's going on, beep, boop, bop, and it is what it is. So we're not scheduled to hear from him until training camp or the Lake Tahoe golf event that's coming up in July. So one of those two events, we might hear from Rodgers for the first time. So again, that's the only part where probably Rodgers made a slight slip up is letting everyone else carry it, which turned into the story. If Aaron Rodgers, like, day one of mandatory minicamp before he goes on this trip to wherever the hell he went to, just gave a quick tweet, hey everybody, I'm not going to be there, I told the team in advance, it is what it is, God bless, see you for training camp or something. I think that would have went over a lot better, but it is what it is. Again, it's just a lot of white noise on the outside of the building.
So do you think he has to do that for the media? Because if his teammates and the coaches knew, then why does he have to split himself to the public.
Oh, no. He doesn't have to if he doesn't want to. I'm just saying if he wanted this noise to not be this noise, he could have handled it to prevent the noise or at the very least quiet the noise. If he would have, again, McAfee interview, tweet, I don't give a Instagram story, however he wanted to do it, if he would have explained that, it would have been less noise on the outside of people criticizing it and it still being a topic here on June 19th on Boy Green Daily, that he could have helped that a little bit if he did something. Now, again, if he doesn't give a crap what people are saying from the outside, seems like he likes the attention anyway, great. Then all that matters is what truly matters is the teammates, coaches, and everybody. If they look at him side-eyed for skipping mandatory minicamp, okay, we have a problem. But it sounds like from all accounts, they haven't. That's my only point.
All right. Well, and then you think he left, and then you think him leaving Salah to dry was a bad thing? Like, do you think he was disrespecting Robert Salah? Because I think Salah could have handled it better too, to say instead of saying unexcused and say, or at least told people, because if he told the team months ago, then why did the team came out months ago and announced it?
That's a good question for the team. I'm not the team, so I don't know. But to me, it would have been kind of weird. Hey, hello. In 12 months, Rodgers ain't going to be there. Like, I don't know. It seems kind of weird. In the same sort of thing. We'll let him know when it's time to know. And that's what they did. Obviously, he did.
Do you think Robert Salah has a problem with him?
No, not at all. I don't think so. No. And plus, Salah, by the way, had plenty of voluntary press conferences the week before he could have let everyone know, and he didn't. So,
all right. Well, that's all I got to do for Green today. Again, love you, Boy Green.
Appreciate you.
And yeah.
Thank you, B-Mac, for joining us here on the show. All right, let's go right back to the phone lines. We got, I believe, Brandon Badshaw here on the program. What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
Hey, it's great to have you on the program, man, and catching it live.
Yeah, I'm pumped, man. It's nice. I'm from Arkansas, and so it is very nice to get some positive Jets football talk somewhere. And I've been listening to you for, I don't know, probably about 4 months or so.
Wow.
And, I was driving to work today, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to call in and just tell them how awesome his show is.
Oh, that's so awesome, man. And I appreciate it. I know there's a lot of people, because I do radio for a living, that, you know, the 1% we hear from of people that call in are the minority. The majority are just people that just are watching their car or listening or apps or online or whatever. They're just consuming it and they enjoy it and they just consume it in those waters. So I appreciate every time when someone who is in those waters and enjoying the heck out of the show swims out every once in a while just to come out and get some air. So thank you, man. That means the world, brother.
Hey, no problem. No problem. I know a lot of times, you know, people, it's kind of hard to agree on stuff, and it's nice to get on here and us kind of be able to cut up. And even the other day, your dad, you know, I think he got a couple seats hot. But the good thing is at the end of the day, we can all have disagreements. And, you know, your dad's been out there, you know, he's fought for our country, and so that we can have these disagreements and say what we want. So I just wanted to say I appreciated the show, and thanks for having me on, man.
Okay, hopefully it's not the last time. Thanks, brother. Enjoy your day.
Thanks.
All right, there he is, Brandon Badshaw. And it's actually a great point that we haven't talked about. My father spent 20 years in the United States Navy and on the USS Tennessee, the USS Baltimore, the USS Georgia, submarines all over the world. And that it's funny that it goes full circle to say, hey, he fought for our country, so we could even have the debates that we're having on our show right now, for Pete's sake. So shout out to Senior, Hop on Pop, for, defending our country and making these sorts of things possible. And again, it's all good fun and games. I know a lot of people hate my father. It was funny. I'll just break this fourth wall. I don't think I have before. The comments were so bad, like on one of the very first initial times, like that me and my dad talked about, hey, you want to be on the show like regularly, like a normal thing? We call it like Hop on Pop or something. Like that would be great. And after the first show, there was a lot of people who hated it, who went like, who is this guy? This Cowboys guy? Who is this guy? What's he doing here? And my dad went like, boy, if it's really a big issue, I won't come on. I'm like, nah, fuck those people. Come on, baby. It's a free country. Everyone can hop on. The phone lines are open now on the show. We've opened those up over the last months. Whenever I started opening up the phone lines for these longer shows, if people disagree, call into the show and clap back at people. I don't care. We can have a good, healthy discussion here on the show. So I'm all for it. So initially, though, this stuff was so bad at first. We're like, hey, boy. My father's like, I guess we better. I don't want to, ruin the show or anything. And I was like, hey, man, it's cool. We're all cool here. We're all gravy, baby. And speaking of, let's go back to the phone lines. This is a man who has been in the chat, and now he's coming out for the first time on camera. Well, actually, let me rephrase. Coming out, that could be suggestive. He's just coming on the show for the first time. Let me make that as clear as possible. Let's go. K-Brock here, the Jets fan. What's up, brother?
What's up, Paul?
Hey, what's happening, man?
How we doing? I'm just tired of hearing all this Aaron Rodgers talk, man.
Mm-hmm.
They're just giving him more fuel to go out there and prove everybody wrong.
That's how I feel, man. And again, so, it's kind of, I see the rankings last night. I'm kind of like, come on, man. But I'm like, bulletin board material. Rodgers should have plenty of it based on all the crap people have been talking the last couple of months. So sign me up, man. It's fine. Rodgers is on this crazy-ass revenge tour. And when he's been on revenge tours before, he won back-to-back MVP. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's not going to have to be an MVP on this team.
That's true, too.
He's never had a defense like this.
Or the skill talent, quite frankly, having guys like Garrett and Mike Williams and Breece Hall and stuff like this. He's just had flashes of Greg Jennings, back-end Donald Driver. Like, he's had moments in his Packers history, but not all of the stars aligned as they are right now. So, I think this is the best team he's ever been on. Oh, did we lose K-Brock? Oh, nope. Oh.
No.
Okay, we got you.
Still here.
Okay. But yeah, that's what I would say for Rodgers. I think this is the best team he's ever been on. I think he's got a chance to win a championship this year. And again, to your point, he doesn't have to play MVP. If he does, watch out. This team has even higher ceilings in terms of regular season and positioning for the playoffs and all that kind of stuff. But if he's just top 10, top 15 quarterback, the Jets are going to be a very badass team this year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he hasn't had a running game like he's going to have this year either.
That's true. Right. I'm going back to like Ryan Grant days. That's a callback and things of that nature, like Eddie Lacy, going to that fat bastard. So, he has not had a Breece Hall. And Breece Hall and all these guys in the inverted question haven't had an Aaron Rodgers, which should take them to newfound heights, which is incredibly exciting.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited to see Breece Hall without 8 guys in the box every single play.
I know, and he's made plays even when guys have been 8 in the box. We've seen the Broncos crazy touchdown, the Washington touchdown, the 40-yarder up the left hash. You're just going through, plays in your head of all of those. And imagine when the box are lighter. Defenses are going to have to pick their play. We're loading up the box, stop a Breece. Jesus, Aaron Rodgers are dicing us up. All right, we got to back up. Then Breece Hall bucks crazy. Like, it's just going to be a real great first world problem.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited.
Well, thanks for calling into the show, man. It's awesome. Hopefully it won't be the last time you call in, and love having you part of the coffee club, man.
I've been thinking about it for a while. I watch you guys. I've been watching you for probably almost a year now. So
wow. Okay, that's an investment.
I've been thinking about calling in every day, so I finally did it.
All right, boom. And hopefully now that the cherry's popped, you can come on as much as you want, pal.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, have a good day, Paul.
All right, you too, pal. And awesome. It's great to see because sometimes I just see like avatars in the comment section. I don't know who the people are or anything. It's great. And this is a growing family, baby. We're up to, let me pull up my current number on subs. Let's see. My next big number I want to get to is 10,000 subscribers. That's the number I'm going for. So let me see what we're at right now at this very moment in time. And according to the YouTube overlords, it's 6,643. So we still got another 367 to go. But I'm all aboard, baby. Toot toot. Let's see if we could get to the 10K train, baby. And we're here in the middle of June doing shows. And I just love doing shows, man. It's an absolute honor. I never take it for granted. I get to wake up and do this show and have all these wonderful people. We have 450 people, some odd, here in the room right now on June 19th. Imagine what it's going to be in the middle of the season, for Pete's sake. So it's awesome. You guys are all crazy bastards. And it's a good time. I'll go through the comment section a little bit here. Let me see. Oh, yeah, the Timberlake post mugshot. Yikes. That was uncomfortable. David says Breece Hall has some generational vision talent. Yeah, he's got a lot of that. Very nice. You can see the hole before it's there. He's pretty good. Phil says would still love to get Cortland Sutton from Denver, but probably too expensive. Yeah, and he reported, I believe, to mandatory minicamp. So no, what's the word I'm looking for? Like no holdout drama. It sounds like he's showing up and being a good guy, which should make him more attractive to the Jets, I imagine. But yeah, I think they might be standing pat from that perspective, outside of an injury that we're not expecting. Maybe that gets them aggressive. At least we're talking pre-season, not like preseason like August. I mean like the prefix before the season. We might be done for that. Alan says we need a BMAC free month. All will be thankful. Hey. Yikes. BMAC. I love the over-under bets on every BMAC hole. That's good. Yeah, that was very nice from K-Brock there. I love the addition subtitle. F the Bills, F the Dolphins, F the Pats. Very nice. Or you have an addition. Yeah, he didn't include the Pats. Yeah, you're right. It was just Bills, Dolphins. But yeah, F them all as we try to make things happen. That's also true. As Brandon says, BMAC, just say you're a Jets fan, man. Just come on over. You're calling into a Jet show like every day. Just come on over, man. We'll take you. Change Go Pack Go to Go Jets Go. JETS. It's there's a couple of word differences. Make it happen. That's not bad. Phil says, Paul, your dad makes a lot of sense, except his take on Rodgers. Well, you know, we can't all bat 1,000, I suppose. Can't all bat 1,000. Can't all bat 1,000. That's all right. He's trying to do what he can. And Jeremy says his pops was also in the Navy. Thank your father for his service. I was born and raised in a military family. My dad was in the Navy for 20 years. My brother was in the Marines for 4 years. My Uncle Robbie, he was in the Army, like everybody. Like I've said before, that was supposed to be my path. And then life happens. You never know what's going to happen, man. But everything happens for a reason, they say. Matthias says, I'll never call in with all you crazies. He drew a line. And K-Brock was in his work van. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Yeah, that's good. That's smart by Mojo Jets, too. Stay pat until the trade deadline. Everyone's talking about maybe a Cortland Sutton right now or something of that nature. But if you do wait, patience is a virtue. All of a sudden, Devontae Adams could be available at the deadline. And if you make your call now, you're screwed. Screwed for lack of a better word. You're like, you're pot committed. If you, let's just say the Jets trade for Cortland Sutton, let's just say, I don't know. You can't get Devontae Adams, it's over. Unless everyone was injured, I don't know how else Devontae would even fit. So again, patience comes to those who wait. And plus, there's something to giving the young guys a shot. Jason Brownlee, who apparently has been wicked impressive. Xavier Gibson. You have Lazard's comeback story, I guess. And Mike Williams coming back from his torn ACL, and you go through the list. Let's just see what happens. Unbelievable. You bet, everybody. Well, we'll cut it off there. I appreciate everybody for tuning in to another episode of Boy Green Daily. Again, we'll be back on Wednesday. I keep forgetting what the hell day it is. Because like my friggin' brain is melting from the heat in this gosh darn room right now, for God's sakes. So I'm going to go cool off, but we'll be back on for another Boy Green Daily tomorrow morning. Hopefully you guys can check that out. We're live every single day at 7:30 in the morning. So everybody, make sure you like the video, hit subscribe. Get the tank top, as mother_effing Chew says. There's a Boy Green merch shop. I love the hat. I'm a big hat guy, and the hat's awesome. The snapback hat. So make sure you guys check that out in the merch shop and the shirts and everything else. We'll try to show you guys a bunch of the stuff that's in there. We appreciate you. Hit subscribe, of course, and let's grow the army. Boy Green Coffee Club. Love it, everybody. Love you guys, and we'll be back tomorrow. Take care. Peace out, everybody.